Okay, so basically, when did all the process start? Was it this year or last year even?
Actually, you mean like the whole
Yeah, I mean whole,
roads started
the
since
whole.
2009?
But when you started to do things
Yeah,
and
we started in February. In February.
this year.
Yeah, yeah. So it's been an ongoing process even before this whole national team prospect came about. Yeah, so it's been going for a while, for quite a few months.
To compare it with getting Canadian passport, how much different is it, or how much tougher?
You want me to be honest? Canadian's a lot easier. It's very. I mean, the requirements here are very strict, very stringent. I should say, just everything. For example, like my criminal records, things like this. I had to go back 15 years. They had to check everywhere I've lived. Canada, USA. Austria, these places. I had to obtain my criminal record from all these places. That's just one example.
You by yourself?
Yeah, I had to go to the consulate. I had to get all these records. I had to get it certified. It's very, it's not easy. Yeah, yeah. So just one example.
What was then the toughest part?
The toughest part was getting all these records that I needed to get, because you have to imagine I have to first figure out how to contact these different embassies or consulates, and then I have to go there and I gotta present ID, and I have to give them a lot of proof, different proof, and it was difficult trying to piece everything together, but luckily we were able to get it done, and I have a great friend helping me with the process, making sure I have everything I needed to get in order for the process to go smoothly.
Okay, how difficult was the Czech exam?
Oh man.
How long? How tough?
Okay, let me put it this way. When I first started to study for the Czech exam, after the first day, my friend was helping me, and I said, "Hey, there's no way I could pass this exam." But after 1-2 months of studying and increasing my vocabulary, I started to get more confident. But on the day of the test, I was very nervous, and it was more difficult than I thought it was going to be. But luckily, I think I was prepared for it. Going to practice, speaking with my friends, my teammates, it helped to prepare me and to help me retain what I was learning. So yeah, it was difficult because after I went home after the exam, I was so exhausted. Mentally, I was exhausted.
Is there like everything, like understanding, hearing, writing, translating,
Yeah,
even?
well, that's the thing, I had to do listening. So I had to listen to recording. I had to write down numbers, how to get from point A to point B. I had to write, for example, if I was sick, I couldn't make it to an appointment, I had to write that I'm sorry I couldn't make it to the appointment, but we can reschedule for this week or next week, and we will meet here. So things of that nature. But of course, I did all that, and they came back and they said, "Hey, you passed. Congratulations." And I thought this was the end, but then I was waiting, and they said, "Okay, you must come and speak to some people." So now I had to go in a room, and I had to speak to like 4 people in a room. So that was very, that was a surprise, and I was also very nervous. But I did it, and I passed.
So on a daily basis, or in a course of daily communication, so you're okay now, or you should be okay now?
Yeah, I'm okay now. I think I wouldn't say my Czech is so basic, but I know it very well to communicate, and I think with more practice, it will only be better. Yeah.
Was it any sort of problem that you already have Jamaican Canadian passport, probably?
No, because we checked into it, to the possibility. And also if I had to relinquish, we would make that decision when the time came. But it wasn't an issue. Yeah.
It wasn't an issue.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was
Wasn't.
not. Yeah.
Okay. So, by the way, how at the moment do you feel more Jamaican or more Canadian or
I think
both?
I'll always feel Jamaican. It's in me. I can't get away from that. Just because when I speak with my family, most of the time we speak in Jamaican. So yeah, I mean, as far as Canadian or my wife is from USA, but I identify with being a Jamaican. Yeah, for sure. Because all my family that I speak Jamaican. Yeah.
By the way, you decided to stay in Czech Republic. You already said that. Why did you decide to do so, and why not to go back to any other places, to your home country even? And so, what's behind that?
Well, I think it's just a matter of priorities. Now I'm married with 2 kids, and for me, home is where my family is. So my family now is my wife and my 2 kids. We have a certain level of appreciation for Czech and comfort here, and we don't mind raising our kids here for the foreseeable future. Of course, things change, plans change. We thought we would be in Czech for a while or with a Czech team for a while. But of course now everything is up in the air. We're waiting to see where I will be. But even if I have to go outside of Czech Republic, we plan on coming back here as our home base for the foreseeable future.
Actually, by the way, what's the probability of you staying in the Czech league, or you rather?
It's up to the Czech teams. It's not up to me.
And
I want to stay here, but it's not up to me, right? It's a matter of, do I get any solid offers to keep me here? But of course, that's the hope, But we will see how it plays out. We have to see.
Okay. Once you stop playing and you still be living here, so what would be your plans then?
Well, I think the good thing for me is I do have a degree, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, and I think I'm very capable off the basketball court as well. My wife, she has her master's in psychology and EC, so she has options, she has flexibility to work here in Czech Republic or elsewhere. So we will have options. For me, of course, I want to go into coaching at some point. And I think that's where my passion is going to be, is in coaching. So we will see, if there will be opportunities here after I'm finished my basketball. And of course, again, that's the hope. Yeah.
And now, of course, the main topic, you probably saw already the roster, the preliminary roster, or the broader roster of the Czech national team. You probably know most of the players, at least by chance or by their names.
Yeah.
So, and as we know, the forward and small forward and guard situation is probably the better one in the Czech national team. So, how do you expect, or how do you see yourself of making the final roster for the qualification? If, of course, you get the papers.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's just a matter of going to practice and competing every day. I feel, I can help the team. Of course, everything is coach's decision. It's not up to the individual or the players. So my focus has to be to come in, work, and prove myself, and show everyone that, hey, I belong and I deserve to be here. But I have to prove that by my attitude, by my play, in order to get one of those spots, So, because the competition is stiff, there's a lot of great talent here on the team now. So you have to give them that respect and that due, and approach it in that way.
And probably last thing, you already have 6-year experience here, but is there still anything in the Czech Republic or in this environment what you still couldn't cope with or you still deal with? Some strange habits where you have or whatever.
No, not really. I'm not sure I understand the question.
I mean, because like Coach Ginsburg once told me, so he said, "You always sit in the dark." I once came to the locker room and the players sat in the dark.
Yeah.
It's you use too little lights, for example.
I can see that. I can see how that would be an issue, but no. Well, maybe the thing that irks me or annoys me is when I am driving, the pedestrians.
Yeah.
They don't look at the cars. They just assume that the car will stop for them, and they always just walk out in the road. So for me, this is crazy. It's your life. It's a car, you know. The car will probably win. So
They even don't use the sidewalks a lot of times.
yeah. So I think this is probably my biggest pet peeve living in Czech is the pedestrians.
Takže Kory, hodně štěstí.
Díky moc.